Oil marketers have yet again kicked against the import monopoly held by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Nnpc Limited, noting that the situation was not helping the petrol market. Earlier this week, one of the advocates, Bello Rabiu, Total Energy's general manager, said the federal government should allow healthy competition by granting licenses and access to foreign exchange to marketers willing to go into the product importation business. On its part, the Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria, MOMAN, said that there was sufficient products in country. The only challenge was lack of investment in infrastructure to guarantee fast and smooth distribution of the products to eradicate the fuel scarcity that the country has been facing. The association also said the food regulation of the petroleum sector, downstream sector, should be implemented in phases to cushion the effect of the sharp increases in PMS prices. To help us analyze Nnpc's sole player status and the many issues around the country's self-sufficiency, we're joined by Enebi Opalua. He's the Senior Research and Policy Analyst at Budget Foundation. He joins us virtually. Good morning, Enebi.
Good morning. Happy to be on the show.
Yes, thank you very much. Let's start with your thoughts concerning the role of Nnpc as the country's sole petroleum importer.
All right. Thank you very much. I think we need to look at this situation from a non-sentimental perspective. Historically, Nnpc became a sole importer about 4 or 5 years ago. During that period, there were some challenges, including fuel scarcity. Oil marketers had access to forex. They had a challenge with access to forex, and so there was also the issue of subsidy. We were just coming out of the subsidy report by the National Assembly, and so there were a lot of issues that preceded the event of Nnpc being the sole marketer, and that was actually supposed to solve a problem. One being subsidy, secondly being an accuracy in knowing how much petroleum we consumed every day. That was an issue. So Nnpc being the sole importer had its pros and had its cons. At that time, the public sentiment was in favor of the corporation becoming the sole importer because of the attendant issues in terms of subsidy claims and the corruption that we had in the space.
All right.
Fast forward a couple of years down the line, situation has changed. Now, my thoughts on Nnpc being the sole importer. Let's look at our situation. What is the problem we want to solve? Are we trying to solve from the first question? We just want to liberalize the sector for liberalization's sake. For the cons, the efficiency issues in distributing fuel are some of the problems that we have with having one sole importer, having a control over the markets, over supply that may not favor market principles, are also some of the problems that we encounter as having one sole importer. So basically, what is our situation? What are the problems we need to solve? Solve the problem of subsidy, of corruption, or do we want to just go back to where we were before, liberalizing the sector and having many people importing? All right. The way I see it, we have to solve the problem gradually.
Yeah, let me come in there. You were saying something about liberalizing. So do you think the country should consider liberalizing the importation of petrol into the country?
Definitely. That should be the end point. But we need to put some things in place first, which actually is self-sufficiency. In 2015, when the CBN governor was interviewed regarding Nnpc becoming the sole importer, the idea was ensuring that our domestic refineries were in full operation to cater to the domestic demands of refined petroleum. And then whatever shortfall we had will not be made up with Nnpc's imports. That was the strategy. But as we see today, that has not been achieved. Today, our refineries are not fully functional. We still import almost all of our domestic consumption, which is not ideal. We still have a problem we have not solved. If we were to liberalize the market now, then we would have done the last 4 years for no reason at all. are we willing to accept the situation of paying subsidy claims to marketers? Because that was the problem we had before. We had people who claimed they had imported petrol when those people had no cargo whatsoever. Some of those companies were fictitious. Those were some of the issues with the subsidy scandal. Are we going to go back to that era, or have we solved those problems? In my opinion, we need to solve the issue of domestic refining capacity. By the time we do that successfully, then we can now decide to liberalize and then leave the market open. If the market does believe that they can import fuel and sell at a competing rate compared to local prices, then fine. But if they see that getting it from in-country is better, then they will simply will go for the cost, and then they will use our domestic.
Let me come in
sources.
here now. Nigeria is looking ahead of the self-sufficiency. That's 2023. What our politicians have said is that they've mentioned 2023 as a year of many things. It's when some refineries will begin operation. It is when they will pull the plug on fuel subsidy. Looking at all this, do you think that we can achieve this set target of starting our operations in terms of our refineries here? Like, I think there's the Kaduna refinery. Do you think this target can be met next year?
Well, as someone who has operated in this space for years, I have seen several targets from the government that have not been achieved. But I would like to be optimistic. According to the ERGP that expired in 2020, by the year 2020, Nigeria was supposed to be a net exporter of refined petroleum. That was what the ERGP told us. This is 2022. Our refineries are not yet functional. So, do I think we can meet the target? I would say I'm skeptical, and I will give you certain reasons. Assuming all our refineries, our 4 refineries are functioning at full capacity. That is 445,000 barrels per day, nameplate installed capacity. That translates to no more than 32 million liters of PMS. And I come to that conclusion because when you refine a barrel of crude oil, about 46% on a good day is PMS, is petrol. So by the time you do these computations, you arrive at 32 million liters of PMS a day. To our authorities.
Okay. Are you with us? Nnpc, are you still with us? I think we've lost him. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Welcome back. We're speaking with Nnpc Palua. Is the senior research analyst at Budget Foundation, and he was explaining to us that opening the doors, liberalizing the importation of petrol into the country is good, but there are so many things that the country still needs to put in place. We're looking at if this is possible or not. So we're wondering if you're still with us. Nnpc, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm still with you.
All right, now,
clearly.
I was asking before we went on that short break, won't making importation open to these marketers have a negative impact on the country's self-sufficiency target?
Okay, well, like I was explaining before the break, we have the capacity to refine 445,000 barrels per day of crude oil. That translates to just 32 million liters of PMS, of petrol. That means that we have a shortfall of another 30 million liters based on data from the NMDPRA, which is the new PPRA.
Yes. Our
daily consumption is 60 million liters of petrol, just petrol alone. So if our refineries, excluding the Dangote refinery, just the country refineries, if they can account for 32 million liters, that means we need another 30 million liters to meet our consumption. Now, how do we do that? I would say that when the government usually talks about we can meet our targets, they usually factor in the Dangote refinery. That refinery has a capacity of
650,000 barrels.
Exactly, and based on the prevailing numbers, we can get some over 45 million liters of petrol from that refinery. If you add that to our domestic refining capacity, then you can say, okay, perhaps we can meet our domestic consumption. If we are operating at full capacity, if the Dangote refinery is operating at full capacity, and if the Dangote refinery is willing to sell all of its products or most of its products into the Nigerian market, you understand that is the business entity, their goal is profit making. So you cannot guarantee that the refinery will plug all of its output into the economy. They must add, especially if there's still a prevailing subsidy regime. Now, how would liberalizing the markets, importation, affect our self-sufficiency targets? Like I said, the best thing was to get domestic refining capacity going. By the time we do that, we have a hand and understanding on how we want to handle our subsidy regime. Then we can now bring in the marketers. If they are really, if they can, well, not a matter of if or capacity, they can import. They were doing it before they were doing it before the Nnpc became a sole importer. They can import, and then we have an accountable system that where we know this is what this person is importing, and this is how much they are going to claim if there is still a subsidy regime. But in the absence of a subsidy regime, then liberalizing the market wouldn't be so much of a problem. Everybody just has to compete at the market rate, at the prevailing price. If you can bring your products and sell at a rate that gives you profit based on the domestic prices, fine, go ahead. If you cannot.
Hello. All right, we've lost him. But if you can hear me now, to wrap up this segment, I want us to look at the fuel subsidy. If the federal government grants powers to the marketers to come into the game, what will this bode for fuel subsidy as the country has planned to phase this off by June 2023? So I was wondering if you can hear me. Are you with us, Nnpc?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
So let's look at one of the things the government said is that by June 2023, that is when the new administration comes into power, that they would have phased off, at least in the first month of that administration, they would have phased off fuel subsidy. Now, and if we grant power to independent marketers to bring oil into the country, what will this bode for the country's revenue?
Okay. First subsidy by.
Sorry, let's just wrap up with that. Hello. I think we've lost him, but I think that's a very.
I'm responding.
Hello, are you with us?
Hello.
Yeah,
I am with you. I can hear you clearly.
So let finish that and let's wrap up the segment.
Yes. So if we phase out first subsidy.
Hello. Oh, I think we've lost him there, and I think it was on this note that we'll wrap up that segment. But when we come back, we'll be looking at this next segment. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the immediate disbursement of the Cabotage Vessel Financing Fund to qualified Nigerians as part of the federal government's commitment to grow enough capacity of Nigeria's own vessel. But we will look at that when we come back after this break.